Hello everyone, it is I, Eric, and welcome back to the channel. For today's video, I wanted to tackle the idea of should I get into game development? A lot of people will say different answers. A lot of the people that have an answer have a huge background in game development. For me, if you're new to the channel, at this period of time, I am slowly learning Godot. I'm working on making a really cool space game. But my knowledge of games and game mechanics is mostly just what I've seen, what I've experienced, what I've played. And so I'm going to take a crack at if you should get into game development. There are many different kinds of games out there. There are the games in which the mechanics are complex but seem simple, like Oni, a 2D game in which you build a colony and you help a bunch of little tiny pixelated duplicates survive. There are more complex games, older games too, like RuneScape. That I've been playing a lot of RuneScape lately. Bigger games that are very actiony. I'm thinking of like Doom, the new ones, but even back in the day with Doom and stuff like that. And so a lot of these games, they kind of shape the idea of like what kind of games do I want to make, or what kind of games someone else wants to make. And that's good, but I would say that if you're thinking about getting into game development, one thing to keep in mind that I've heard from other people is to start small. So the first answer to if I should get into game development should be focused on just trying to go and make games. Thinking about making a game is great, but prioritizing the skills of learning how to make one has been very helpful for me. I come from a pixel art background. I've been doing a lot of pixel art for a few years, and there's so much I still need to learn. But even though pixel art is necessary to make the little characters animated and do their things, that alone is not a game. Coding is a game. Knowing the kinds of mechanics you want in a game is a game. Making that kind of stuff is important. At number 2, I would say that for new game developers, the thing to look into is figuring out how you want to go about making a game. There are many ways to do this, but for me, I would recommend new game developers looking into different kinds of engines rather than just starting from scratch. At least to kind of get your feet wet with the idea of making a game. There's Godot, that's what I currently use, but there's many different other engines out there. The thing about game design is it's important to think about the kind of game that you want to make and research if the engine itself will work well for the kind of game. And I hear that a lot, but at the same time, if you're just like completely new to game design, and you are okay with waiting on making your dream game, then choosing an engine that is easily accessible, quotation marks around accessible, because some of them are quite complex, but choosing one and experimenting with that one can help. This leads to number 3, my personal one. When you are making games, I like with my space game, I'll show a little bit of it right here. But the code of the space game that I'm working on is heavily inspired by Vampire Survivors because I am following a tutorial by another content creator, and it's basically put me in this weird kind of situation where I am in tutorial hell. Basically what that means is I am following a tutorial, I'm making a game, I'm seeing the results, it's great, it's good, I'm learning, it's true, but I feel like I know more coding than probably the amount that I actually do, which is okay, but it's important to remember that when shaping and figuring out the kind of games that you want to make, you still have to keep in mind scale. I'll have another video later about the scale of the kind of games that maybe one should make when they're starting out. But a quick answer to that now would be to think about games that are not bogged down with too many mechanics and things that would be hard to figure out how to make, and instead focus on the learning process, seeing if it's fun, something simple, maybe trying a tutorial related to another game like Vampire Survivors, or something else kind of simple that allows you to really get into developing a game. And then for number 4 about should I get into game design, if you enjoy games and you want to make a game, that should be enough reason if you want to get into game design. The process of learning it, from what I can tell, still, like I said before, being in tutorial hell, is that there is so much that I, even in this moment as I'm conversing with all of y'all, there's so much in this moment that I feel like I know that I don't know, truly in game design. And it's a journey, and it's going to take time to figure out how to do code without just like looking online to see how it's done, how to know what it is. But if you are even just slightly interested in it, and you want to see how it goes, try to just dive in and see what you can make. At most, you end up making something really silly, and you can learn new skills along the way. And if you stick with it, you'll just continue to build upon skills. Game development is not just the coding part, even though I did talk about that in relation to like the example of like thinking you're doing game development when you're just doing pixel art. But it's a lot of other moving pieces as well. It is the coding, it is the pixel art, it's any music or any other graphics, it's understanding fonts and all these things. And if you start learning it now, even if it's slow, even if you make mistakes, it is still worth doing if it's something that you really wish that you could do. The toughest part of doing a thing that this is my personal opinion, but the toughest part about doing a thing that is something you want to do but you don't have any experience doing it is just start doing it. Not doing it or psyching yourself out about not doing it just results in you not doing it. So go and try. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below. I plan on making more of these kind of short form videos about game design, my journey, and other kind of questions. This is my first time making a video that is kind of like this, so let me know. And check out my intro video to kind of get an idea about like this channel, and I hope that you go make games. And it doesn't need to be your dream game from the beginning. It probably shouldn't be your dream game from the beginning, but that's okay. I'm Eric, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.